It's the Morning Star Drive 117.8. You soaring up with sky, now's the time, don't delay. I'm sitting in my ride and it's time to fly. So let's realign, just listen and fill your mind.
I'm burning with desire and the passion. Nobody can stop me when I'm like this. I got my head in the zone, you know. I'm on the Morning Star Drive, you know.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Wednesday, June 23rd, and this is the Morning Star Drive on 117.8. We're on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe, follow us on SoundCloud, and make sure to support us on Patreon. So today, what is going on this wonderful Wednesday? We got coronavirus updates, current news from around the world, and of course, realizing from the Tuesday morning message and Victory Rhymes by Youngse from South Africa. So some of you might be wondering, hey, isn't Victory Rhymes supposed to be on Thursday? But because Sean Jusung McMillan is taking a break from the best class ever for a couple of weeks, we're going to move this back so we spread out the segments from members for the Wednesday and for the Friday. All right, so that's why today, until Jusung comes back with the best class ever, we're going to move this over to the Wednesday instead. All right, so today we'll get Victory Rhymes from Youngse from South Africa. Okay, so guys, it's Wednesday, middle of the week. It is hump day, and I'm thankful for all of you joining us here on the Morning Star Drive. Looking forward to Sunstein preaching tonight. And yes, there was a massive shift. For the first time, we had the head leaders preaching for the Tuesday morning. So that was really good and refreshing too. So everyone, let's start this day well with today's show. We'll remind everyone, keep liking, commenting. Want to hear from you guys and see how you're doing. All right, yesterday night, what did we have? We had another Lab 78, and I went over my first experience with an exorcism or casting out demons. This is a real story. This happened probably about 15 years ago, but this is crazy, guys. If you guys want to go watch that, go ahead. It's on my Espresso with Sky YouTube channel. And make sure to leave a comment and like the video. All right. This week's Sunday edition, I interviewed Edward Choi from Australia, so make sure to catch that interview. And of course, next Sunday, we're going to meet someone else. We got a bunch of people lined up for the next couple of weeks. I hope you guys will really, really enjoy and look forward to another inspiring interview. Monday Bible studies, Zoom Bible studies, they are finished until July 5th. I'm going to do a restart. So everyone who wants to join, go ahead. We're going to have a sign-up sheet. We're going to send you the email. So we'll start July 5th for the next round of Zoom Bible studies. All right? So let's get into today's featured artist of the day. Who is today's featured artist today? It is going to be Zeniac from PMA in Korea. And this song we're going to hear is Trans-Neptunian Observation. After that, we have Francis Han from New York with Close Your Eyes from his jazz band. And last but not least, we have Renee Lai from Taiwan with the song 1,000 Years. And that's her latest single to come out. Okay? So everyone, as we're doing, we're on what? We're on day 23 of the 70-day prayer condition. I hope that all of you guys are really doing well and just pushing hard with this. Getting a lot of dreams and inspirations, but if anything else, guys, I hope that we can move it to the next level, okay? So, everyone, make sure, put them in your prayers, put the member artists in your prayers just a little bit so that they can get that power to go even further and persevere through all the things that they're going through, all right? So, let's listen to our member artists from around the world.
to stand alone. All of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. Time stands still. Beauty in all she is. I will be brave. I will not let anything take away what's standing in front of me. Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. And all along I believed I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. One step closer. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. And all along I believed I will find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more.
And there you go. That was Renee live from Taiwan with the song 1,000 Years, and that is from the Twilight soundtrack. Before that, Francis Han from New York with his jazz band, and that was Close Your Eyes, and the feature artist of the day, Zeniac from PMA in Korea with Trans-Neptunian Observation. So let's go into some news going on around the world, starting off with the coronavirus updates. In the world, 179.5 million cases, 3.8 million deaths at 2.17% mortality rate. Top 5 countries going by. Daily infection rates, we have India with 29.9 million cases, 389,000 deaths. Brazil, 17.9 million cases, 502,000 deaths. Russia, 5.3 million cases, 129,000 deaths. Argentina, 4.2 million cases, 89,000 deaths. And Colombia hits the milestone with 3.9 million cases, and they've hit the 100,000 death mark. Let's take a look at daily infection rates. Sorry about that, guys. Brazil is on top with 41,000 cases in a day. India with 39,000. Colombia 23. Russia 17,000. And Indonesia stays in the top 5 with 14,000 cases in a single day. Which means over here in Southeast Asia, of course, Indonesia's on top with 14,000. And then the Philippines with 5,200. And then Malaysia with 4,600 cases in a single day. And that is the coronavirus update. So let's move into the top 3 news items for today. First on the news is Japan Olympics 2020. They actually made a decision on how many fans can come out. People thought there weren't going to be any, but they have decided that up to 10,000 Japanese fans will be permitted at Tokyo 2020 Olympic venues, despite warnings from health bosses. Overseas spectators are already banned, but organizers said domestic fans could attend, providing crowds that did not exceed 50% of a venue's capacity. So fans will not be allowed to shout or speak loudly and must wear face masks at all times while in venues. Guys, you're going to the Olympics. You cannot shout and you cannot speak loudly. And guess what? There's only one country that is capable of doing this, and that is Japan. They are the most polite, and they're the ones that listen the most, and they are organized. So even though for me that would be impossible, for Japan, I do think it's possible. The Olympics are scheduled to begin on July 23rd, while the Paralympics follow a month later from August 24th. So spectator numbers for the Paralympics will be confirmed by July 16th, and that was in a joint statement from the International Olympic Committee, the International Paralympic Committee, the Tokyo 2020 Organizing Committee, and the Tokyo Metropolitan Government and the Government of Japan. Now, the decision to allow spectators comes despite the release of a report last week by Japanese medical experts that said holding the games without spectators was the least risky and most desirable option. But of course, there are so many cases in domestically, internationally, sports events with spectators. So they're exercising thorough measures, and based on the government criteria, they believe they can hold the games with spectators. So the entire world is facing the same issues, and they're working together to overcome them. So delegates and sponsors will be classed as organizers, and therefore will not be included in the 10,000 spectator limit. So should there be a rapid increase in the coronavirus infections and impact on Japan's healthcare systems, the 5 parties will consider further restrictions. Now, this could also mean that they could further reduce spectator numbers at venues in the future. And of course, there are fears that the games may trigger a surge in coronavirus infections in Japan. But as a result, the Prime Minister Suga last week encouraged the Japanese public to watch the games on TV rather than attending events in person. So on Sunday, a state of emergency in Tokyo was lifted 5 weeks before the start of the Olympics, and emergency coronavirus restrictions have been in place in Japan's capital and other prefectures since late April amid a surge in infections. So, if some quasi-emergency measures will remain in some areas, including Tokyo, until July 11th. So on Saturday, a Ugandan athlete, we reported this the other day, became the first to test positive for the coronavirus on arrival to Japan. So if you kind of look at what's going on, organizers saying there's going to be a cap at each venue of 10,000 spectators, but you have to realize it's a little bit more complicated than that, because spectators with tickets, and they've gone through a lottery system. But there are other groups going as well. So VIPs, corporate guests who are counted as coming from the organizing side, and they don't know how many of them will be attending. So there have been reports that the opening ceremony on July 23rd, there could be as many as 10,000 VIP guests and corporate guests. So that's already doubled there. And on Monday, organizers said they didn't think it would be that many, but they did acknowledge there would be more than 10,000. And there's also student school programs there, and they are not affected by the cap either. So you're looking at way more than 10,000. So at the moment, there's no plan to test people before they go into venues, and organizers are hoping that asking them to wear masks and to follow the protocols in place and reducing the number of people in stadiums and spacing them out will be enough to prevent the spread of the virus. So that is the first news. Second news is going to be about vaccines running out in poor nations, and this is reported by the WHO. Large number of poorer countries receiving coronavirus vaccines through a global sharing scheme do not have enough doses to continue the programs. And this is what the WHO has reported. And the senior advisor of the WHO said that the COVAX program had delivered 90 million doses to 131 countries. But he also said this was nowhere near enough to protect the population from a virus still spreading worldwide, and the shortages come as some nations in Africa see a third wave of infections. So on Monday, South African President Ramaphosa called for an end to vaccine hoarding by healthier countries as his government scrambled to curb a steep rise in cases. And on a continental level, only 40 million doses have been administered so far in Africa, less than 2% of the population. So to address this, he said his government was working with COVAX to create a regional hub to produce more vaccines in South Africa. And COVAX was created last year to ensure that the vaccination doses were made available around the world, with richer countries subsidizing costs for poor countries. So led by the WHO and other international organizations, COVAX initially set a target of providing 2 billion doses worldwide by the end of 2021. Now, most of those are being donated to poorer countries, where COVAX hopes to distribute enough vaccines to protect at least 20% of the populations by the end of this year. But of course, distributions of the vaccines has been hampered by manufacturing delays and supply disruptions, right? So we're going to see what's going to happen here. And of the 80 low-income countries involved in COVAX, at least half of them do not have sufficient vaccines to be able to sustain their programs right now. So that is if you guys want to know what the total vaccine doses per 100 people are, countries with a population of at least 1 million, it's the UAE who has the highest. So per 100 people, there are 146 doses. You guys have to be reminded that everyone needs 2 doses to be fully vaccinated. So it's possible to have up to 200 doses for 100. That means 100% of the population is vaccinated. And then Israel is second with 123, Bahrain 114, and then the UK at 111, Mongolia at 110, Chile 109, all the way down to the US is at 95. Okay, so these are kind of what the doses look like per country. How many doses per 100 people have been given out. So great job to the UAE, Israel, the UK, Mongolia, Chile, the US, and whatnot, right? So that is the second news for today. Last but not least, we're going to go into Belarus. Now, those of you guys don't know, there was a big thing that came out, I believe, 2 weeks ago, where there was a passenger plane that was brought down by fighter jets in Belarus. And basically, there was someone on there that needed to be arrested. And this was a huge thing, that the military would bring down a passenger plane into their country just to arrest someone. Huge things happen. So what is happening now? The US, the EU, Canada, and the UK have slapped sanctions on Belarus. So Western allies urged the Belarusian government to cooperate with a probe into the forced landing of a Ryanair flight and the arrest of a journalist last month. The US, EU, Canada, UK have imposed sweeping sanctions on Belarusian entities and officials and called on Minsk to end its repressive practices against its own people. So the allies told the administration of President Lukashenko to cooperate with investigations into the forced landing of a Ryanair flight there in May and the arrest of the journalist Roman Protasevich and his girlfriend Sofia Sapega, who were on board. So all of these countries are united in deep concern regarding the Lukashenko regime's continuing attacks on human rights, fundamental freedoms, and international law, and they are very committed to support the long-suppressed democratic aspirations of the people of Belarus. Now, the coordinated action reflected growing Western frustrations over Belarus, which plunged into crisis last year when street protests erupted over what demonstrators said was a rigged presidential election. There was no immediate reaction from Lukashenko, who has so far ridden out the storm with a crackdown, denied rigging the vote, and accused journalist Roman Protasevich of plotting a revolution. So let's see what's going to happen here, because what they've done with all these sanctions, right? The EU said it was imposing travel bans and asset freezes on 78 officials, including the Belarusian defense minister and transport minister, its Air Force commander, judges, and lawmakers, as well as entities which are usually companies, banks, or associations. It means that a total of 166 people and 15 entities are now under EU restrictive measures. And basically, they said that the decisions on the Belarusian government was basically made in view of the escalation of serious human rights violations, right? And they basically said that this is going to hurt the economy of Belarus heavily. So hopefully that makes them change their mind to do something else. So let's see what happens, right? Because that means all the imported goods from the EU, which is about $1.5 billion worth of chemicals, right? And crude oil related products, and that's another $1 billion right there. That's going to be stopped. And Belarus, you have to know, also relies on loans from the European Commercial and Development Bank. So that is something that is going to have a big effect on Belarus. So let's see what happens too. Because, the U.S. Treasury Department also has blacklisted 16 people and 5 entities in response to the Lukashenko government's escalating violence and repression. So, yeah, hopefully that this will make a lot of changes come on, especially cutting off oil export revenue streams, right? So that's going to be huge for Belarus also. So let's see what happens, and let's see if it kind of changes their hearts or their minds, and see if they'll, stop this repressive government against their own people. Okay, so that is the news for today, and that means we're going to go into a time of praise and worship. So we're going to start off with "The Lord is my hope and joy," then we'll sing the song "Hero," and then we'll end with an oldie but a goodie. It's "According to the Lord's Will." So as one body of the Morning Star Drive, let's spend this time giving glory, honor, and praise to the Holy Trinity.
Life without the Lord, how could we live? No one could live like that. Without fun, without hope, oh, what kind of life is that? Since the Lord is my hope and joy, I'll always follow. The Lord is my pride. He is the source of my confidence. I think of Him everywhere that I go, hoping I can tell someone, tell them of my Lord, boast about Him to everyone I see. I'll tell them all those stories of His life, endless stories about Him. Anyone who hears me will be completely blown away, astonished and amazed, because I am His bride, I am His beloved, because I'm His bride, the one He loves, because I'm His joy and His sunshine. My face glows with love. Everyone who sees me will wonder why they want to know more. But how can they know Him? Secrets of the times and of the Lord they'll not know, but remain in ignorance until they are told they will not know at all. As one who knows, I will surely tell the world, tell them the truth, testify for Him, then they will know. My Lord once spoke to me, to my heart. My love, testify to all of the world. Please, love, testify for me, and the Lord God will be with you, speaking through your lips every day. You will be moved by the Spirit, she'll enlighten you. my pride. He's the source of my confidence. Since for now I'm still too young, I can't do it alone. The Lord's word is the best, it's perfect, but still the world won't acknowledge Him. Though I live in this cool world is too cold for me. Am I different or am I strange? What's special about my life? I can hear a voice that's calling from somewhere. We can change ourselves again. I'm set on fire, my body surges with power. Don't forget this day. I can be the hero. You can be the hero, yeah. We can be the hero. And as one, we'll turn the world upside down. I can be the hero. You can be the hero, yeah. We can be the hero. You and me, we are the owners of history.
I've had it. I've been told I'm not enough so many times my ears bleed. We know we can get it done, please hear what we are saying. Friends, worldly things, those are not even problems for us. Satan is not a problem, we can knock him out for sure. We are growing every day. We are becoming the Lord's army. Only the Lord, how can we say it's hard and it will work out? With the Lord, we'll move ahead and always go forward.
This world's full of signs, but no destination. This chaotic world just confuses me. Their words won't remain, they will melt like stone. And then the truth will be revealed at last. I can hear a voice that's calling from somewhere. We can change ourselves again. I'm set on fire, my body surges with power. Don't forget this day. I can be the hero. me strength to act upon your will, my Lord, and let my thoughts be fixed on you alone. Oh, come to me and teach me, though I'm weak in many ways. Lord, come to me and fill me with your wisdom and your strength. I will leave my thoughts behind, and in everything I will live the way you do. Lord, I ask that you speak to me. Please answer as I call on your name. Oh, give me strength to act upon your will, my Lord, and let my thoughts be fixed on you alone. Oh, come to me and teach me, though I'm weak in many ways. Lord, come to me and fill me with your wisdom and your strength. You are right here with me, so I'll call out to you, Lord. For you walk by my side, pouring your power on me. If I act on your word, we will achieve victory. Lord, would you use me, and let's fulfill your will on this earth. Oh, give me strength to act upon your will, my Lord, and let my thoughts be fixed on you alone. Oh, come to me and teach me, though I'm weak in many ways. Lord, come to me and fill me with your wisdom and your strength. Lord, let me live for you and for your will alone. Oh, can't you feel this earnest heart of mine? Until the end, I'll never give up. I'll fulfill your dream. I will run with you together. We'll fulfill this history. I will do your will, my Lord. It is all I know. I live only for your will.
And that was According to the Lord's Will. Before that was Hero, and of course, The Lord is my hope and joy. And that was a time of praise and worship together, giving glory to the Holy Trinity. And that means we're going to move on to our word study for today. And today's word study is very interesting. It's a little bit different because the question I got this week is not so much like a Bible question or something about the 30 lessons or something along that line, but it was more about a question of lecturing. Like when you start, like how do you start, and how people have a fear of starting to lecture. What do you say to the newcomer? You're scared, you're nervous. What if you say the wrong thing? What if they react in a bad way? There are just so many things that come into our hearts and our minds, and we're like, I don't know how to lecture. And I'm going to give you a good example of what lecturing is like. And I'm going to say lecturing is the same as making your own YouTube channel. And you're like, what? How does that have to do with the same thing? Okay, so here's the thing. When you start your own YouTube channels, there's a bunch of things that go in your head. Okay, so what things come to mind when you start your own YouTube channel is like, but I don't know if the people are gonna like it, right? So that's what first thing is like, oh, will people even like what I'm putting out? And the answer is, they will never know until you put it out, right? And like, do they even need this? And the answer is, well, it's not so much asking people what they need, because a lot of people don't know what they need. And the same thing when it comes to the Bible study or the words of God. When people hear Bible study, it doesn't mean that they don't want it or they might not need it. Everyone needs the words of God. They just don't know it yet, right? So there's a lot of questions that come to mind, like even when it came to starting my YouTube channel, and you know that, oh, but it's not going to be that good in the beginning. It's going to be really, really hard. And I'm not sure if is it going to be good quality enough or not? And the answer is, it's not going to be very good in the beginning. That's just it. You're going to try your best. You're going to do your best. You're going to prepare your best, and it's not going to be that good. And you might get a little discouraged and say, oh, but I put so much work into it, but like no one's watching it or whatever. And the same thing, when I did my YouTube shows in the beginning, you're having views of 20 people. And we were just trying to figure out like, gosh, how are we ever going to get 100? And then what happens is, as you do more and more, you get better and better. You edit and adjust along the way. You gain more experience. You gain more confidence. You begin to understand the concepts in a much better way. You begin to make greater examples, and you put the words into action, and slowly things start to move. And what happens is, later on in the future, you're going to be much, much better. And even with my YouTube channel, we're growing, we're editing, better thumbnails. Everything is growing step by step. And we're moving we're getting better and better with time. And when we get better and better, what happens? As we get better and better, more people begin to watch, right? As I get better in speaking in the YouTube style, in doing shorter messages or shorter, whatever you call it, like shorter videos, more and more people watch. And now getting 100 is like it's an afterthought. 100 is going to come like in the first 2 hours. There's going to be 100 no matter what. In the first 2 hours, there's going to hit 100 no matter what. And then the only thing I'm worried about now is it going to hit 500 to 700? Or maybe for me, I'm like, I want to get to a point now where I'm thinking to myself, can I get 1,000 views per video? And that's what it's nothing, no more can I get 100? It's not even, that's normal. 100 is normal now on my quiz, right? Oh, not my quiz, sorry, on my YouTube channel for Espresso with Sky. But now what's happening is I'm adjusting, getting better, learning more, seeing what works, see what doesn't work. I have a video that has 37,000 views. I have another video that has like 18,000 views. So I'm getting like tons of views in one area, and then other areas I'm starting to see, ooh, people don't really like this subject. Oh, they don't really like this one either. And it's something that I look at and say, oh, that's interesting. And that's something that I'm learning along the way. But 100 is an afterthought. If I ever get a video under 100, that means that I've royally screwed up. Like royally. And what's going to happen is, just like making a new YouTube channel, starting a new podcast, starting new videos, educations, books, whatever you're doing for the first time, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. And what we need to realize is that when we're starting to lecture, it's going to be bad. And you know what? Most people are not going to be like, oh my gosh, that was so deep. People are not going to be like, oh, I realized. They're not. It's just the way it is. It's just we're starting, and we start off really small, and then we move ourselves up step by step, bit by bit. And if we realize this when it comes to lecturing too, or even preaching, or doing praise leading, in anything that we're going to have some fear in the beginning, and we're going to be like, oh, maybe I need to practice more singing. The answer is no. Like, how long are you going to practice? You're going to go take singing lessons? And you know what? When people say I got to practice more, they're not even getting singing lessons. They're just thinking to themselves, I'm not ready. That's all it is. You just got to go out and do it. And the first goal you have before anything else, they say, for your YouTube channel is getting your first 30 videos, right? Same thing with lecturing. What do you got to do? You just got to be able to teach as much as possible. I'm not going to even say there's 30 lectures you have to do, but you have to start just doing as much as you can. And you hit that stride. It's just like when you hit that, get better at it, where 100 views is nothing, right? 100 views is nothing now, but you realize it's something. 100 views is nothing, but now we're at 500 to 700. and some reaching 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, right? And we realize that, oh, this is just how we're going to grow in all that we do. It's going to be scary in the beginning, but I'm going to tell you straight up right now, just like making a YouTube channel, number one is this: don't ask people what they need, because most people don't know what they need. Just put it out there. Like for me, making the YouTube channel, even for this Morning Star Drive podcast, I'm not asking people, do you need a podcast to listen to in the morning? Because people are going to say, yes, make one for me because I need one, me, a single individual. They're going to feel bad to make you do that 5 times a week. I just do it myself. No one told me to do it. I didn't know if anyone wanted it. I just made it thinking to myself, you know what? I'm going to make something that people want and people need. It's going to be something that benefits them. And people like it, right? There's several people coming in. There's and I have like a small following right now that like the program. And what's going to happen is it's just going to keep growing more and more. Sunday editions, even more people, right? Sunday editions, you're looking at like 100, 200, 300. Some people already have 1,000 views on their videos too. Just got to do it. You get more ideas. You get better and better, just like lecturing. And I hope that you guys too will have that mentality of you just got to start. You're going to be terrible. Honestly, you're going to be terrible. You just got to start, and that's it. And once you get going from there, it becomes so much easier. So I hope that you guys too will really understand that this is something that we really have to think about, like carefully. And not carefully as in like try to figure out every little thing. That's not it. We have to realize you just got to do it. Just got to start lecturing. If you're told to lecture, just start. Just start it. Go try it and do it. You're going to fail in the beginning. Well, failure doesn't, and guys, I'm going to tell you this. Failure doesn't, you can't base your failure on whether they realize a lesson or not. The material is great. The 30 lessons, all those things, they're great. The only difference is sometimes it's you not conveying it well, and sometimes the newcomer's not ready. And that's why you can't base it off the success of did they realize about the lesson or not. It's more about, in the beginning, the success is, did you do it or not? Did you prepare and do your best and do it or not? And that's going to be the number one thing. All of you guys out there trying to do YouTube podcasts, or some of you I know out there have been telling me that, hey, I want to try do a new segment. My biggest advice to you, I know a lot of you want to help out, but you feel a little bit afraid that you might not be able to do it well. I'm telling you right now, you just got to do it. Dead serious. You just got to do it. Some of it might be bad. It's okay. You just got to do it, okay? So that is my Q&A for today. It's not really a question, but it's a question more of people who are just getting started in lecturing, just getting started in teaching, in praise leading, in doing tech, in setting up the church, whatever it is, in your job. You just have to do it, and you learn as you go. All right, guys. So that is today's word study for today, the question and answer on this Thursday. Hope you guys really enjoyed that, which means we're going to go into the last song for today, which is the song of choice. Is my Wednesdays, guys, is my Filipino Wednesdays. I don't know why. Should I call it the Jollibee Wednesdays? If you guys are Filipino out there, just tell me if that sounds cool. We'll call it the Jollibee Wednesday, Wednesday song of choice. We're going to go to these Filipino amazing singers, and the song is, the singer is my favorite R&B artist, probably in, top 3 of all time. It's Daryl Ong from the Philippines, and he's doing a cover for the song Ordinary People by John Legend. All right. So everyone, please welcome and listen to this amazing rendition, cover of Ordinary People by Daryl Ong.
Girl, I'm in love with you. This ain't the honeymoon. We're past the infatuation phase. Right in the thick of love. At times you get sick of love. It seems like we argue every day. I know I misbehaved when you made your mistakes, and we both still got room left to grow. And though love sometimes hurts, I still put you first, and we'll make this thing work. But I think we should take it slow. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go, because we're ordinary people. And maybe we should take it slow. illusions are. Gets more confusing every day. Hey, and sometimes it's heaven sent, then we head back to hell again. We kiss and we make up on the way. I hang, you call, we rise and we fall when we feel like just walking away. As our love advances, we take second chances. Though it's not a fantasy, I still want you to stay. We're just ordinary people. Oh yes, we don't know which way to go. No, 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 no. We're just ordinary people. Oh yes, we are. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. This time we take it slow. Take it slow. This time we take it slow. Maybe we live and learn. Maybe we'll crash and burn. Maybe you'll stay. Maybe you'll live. Maybe you'll return. Maybe another fight. And maybe we won't survive. Maybe we'll grow. You never know. Baby, you and I. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way. We don't know which way to go. 'Cause we're ordinary. We're just ordinary people. Maybe we should have taken it slow. We're just ordinary. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We don't know which way. We don't know which way to go. 'Cause we're maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. This time we take it slow. Take it slow. Take it slow. This time we take it slow.
And there you go. That was Daryl Ong from the Philippines with his R&B rendition of Ordinary People by John Legend. Great cover. I am in love with the Filipino singers. They're so good. All right. So now that we have the Jollibee song of choice of the day, what we're going to do is we're going to get into today's Victory Rhymes by Youngse from South Africa. And something new, something cool and new today, guys. It will not be a poem, but it's going to be a testimony that has everything to do with this week's message. So I believe there's going to be an interview of someone who has an amazing testimony. All right, guys? So everyone, please welcome Youngse from South Africa with Victory Rhymes.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Victory Rhymes here on the Morning Star Drive with me, Youngse. I am from South Africa, but I'm currently living and working in South Korea. And welcome to the Poetry Vibe every Thursday here on the Morning Star Drive. It's called Victory Rhymes, and this is where I share the poems written by the amazing people of this history. And these poems are really truly just a peek into each other's lives. We can hear all the stories that we've made, the realizations, inspirations, and the things that the Trinity has done for us or made us realize, the things we go through in our daily life of faith. And through these poems, we can get to know people from across the world who go through similar stuff that we do. So it's really cool. And today, I'm gonna do something different here on the Morning Star Drive. On the Victory Rhymes. Usually I share a poem or a rap or a song, something that is written. But for something that is written, like a poem or a rap or a song to exist, there has to be some inspiration that inspires you and moves you to write this poem. But today, I'm gonna turn the tables. I'm not gonna share a poem with you, but I'm gonna share a really inspiring story with you. So then maybe someone feels inspired listening to today's testimony and feels moved, to write something. And then you can send it back to me and then I'll share it on the Morning Star Drive. So if you've written anything or if you write something after listening to today's segment, feeling inspired by all the things you've gone through or something moves you from what you hear today, please send your poems to me through the email in the description box and I'll share them here on the Morning Star Drive. Okay, so let's get right into it. Today, I have a big surprise. Ding! I have a guest. Yup, I have a guest. First time on this Victory Rhyme segment that I actually have a guest. And who is this guest? Well, you recently heard her voice for the first time. It is someone with a truly, truly amazing, mind-shatteringly amazing testimony that really fits this week's Sunday message about perseverance and blessings with the Lord. When we persevere, we go through all these tough times, we go through so many tribulations, and we persevere, we push through, we don't give up, and then blessings will come. That is so amazing and such a hopeful message. And this guest, this really special guest that I have here today, she went through some really tough experiences before she met this history, but now she is so incredibly blessed after having met the Lord. So today she's going to tell us all about this amazing testimony. And who is it? It is Annika Leroux from South Africa. Welcome, Annika.
Hello everyone.
Wow. So welcome, Annika. We're so happy to have you again. Just 2 weeks ago, Annika stood in for me when I had laryngitis. So you might recognize this voice. Just such a blessing to have you here and to tell us about your truly amazing testimony about what the Lord has done for you and how much you've been blessed after you persevered through really tough times. So Annika, could you please tell us, how was your life before you met this history?
Well, I really had a happy family life. My family is really lovable and supporting, but my school years was really difficult for me.
Oh, really? Can you tell us why? What was hard about school? You didn't like math?
No, I actually really liked math.
Oh yeah, you're really, really good at math. Okay.
But I was really extremely bullied.
Oh.
So my school was a really small school, so there weren't a lot of people or children in the school, but they all really bullied me a lot until the point...
Well, even the teachers?
Yes, even the teachers. I was emotionally bullied by them as well. So I was extremely bullied, and until the point, it really pushed me until the point that I was really extremely depressed. And
wow, so how long was this going on? Was it just a year? Was it just final year? Or how long was this going on?
To be honest, it was almost 10 or 11 years.
Wow.
Of extremely bullying. So I was really bullied, and then after a few years, after hearing really bad things and about how God didn't want you to be on the earth, and I heard a lot of that.
Well, that's what the kids would tell you.
Yes, they will really tell me God made a mistake creating you. So I really heard a lot of things, and then after a while of hearing all of those things, it really pushed you until the point that you really just want to give up.
Yeah.
That you don't see any point in living, or you get so depressed. So I was just crying all day long, and I didn't see the point in living, and I didn't know what my purpose was. So all of those actually drove me until the point that I wanted to just commit suicide. So
what?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I asked how long was this going on, because you said that you were pushed to extreme depression and you really felt like you didn't want to live. But this was not just you had a bad school year. This was almost all your school life that was really extreme bullying. And then you said that you felt so much bullied and hurt by the fellow kids and even the teachers that you even wanted to commit suicide.
Yeah, it was really hard. So I really reached a low point. But after trying to commit suicide, I received help. So then it started to become better. But even though you start doing better in depression, there's always still problems that comes because effects that you are struggling with after everything that happened. So
So what was that? What kind of things? What kind of struggles that the bullying caused you? Like what kind of things did you struggle with?
well, I really didn't know my self-worth. I felt like I have no value and that nobody can love somebody like me. And I was always questioning God, like, why do I have to suffer like this? And even though I got rid of those people in my life and I went to university
Hallelujah.
and I made amazing friends, even though I still couldn't trust them and I still couldn't believe that they want me to be their friend. So I was always waiting for that day they're just gonna abandon me or reject me, or like, so I could never just be myself. I was always like kind of like hiding away, kind of like not knowing my worth.
Yeah, just waiting for the day that they're gonna, you always thought that maybe this is too good to be true, and maybe they will just turn their backs on me too. That is really, really sad, and you're such an amazing person. You really didn't deserve that. But let's get to your university years. I know that in university you had a really special dream that really changed your mind a lot. Could you tell us about your dream?
Yes, so while I was being bullied, I obviously never had a boyfriend, and while being on university, I also never had a boyfriend, and I was questioning God about it, and I was asking God, like, why do I have to go through all that bullying, and why does nobody loves me in that special way? So I really felt like unlovable. And as I was praying about it, one day in 2015, actually, I got like a dream. And in the dream, I was wearing a beautiful white wedding dress. And in the dream also was a light in front of me, a sharp light. And after receiving that dream, I really realized that God wants me to be His bride first. And that really changed my mindset, because I didn't worried about not having a boyfriend or not having physical love, but I truly focused on getting close to God. And I truly lived my life trying to get close to God and to live as His bride.
Wow, that is so amazing. And it's so amazing that through all this bullying and all the insecurity and struggle that it caused you, like you really struggled to trust friends, and it really made you wonder about what your purpose in life, and it was really difficult. You still held on to your faith and you still kept praying. Was there ever a time that you felt like giving up, that you felt like you wanted just to give up on everything?
Of course, I'm sad to say it, but after going through so much pain, there was some times that I just didn't want to believe, that I wanted to like just give up on everything. So I wanted to give up on faith. I wanted just to give up on life, because I thought, like, why would God allow all of this to happen to me? So there was a few times that I really wanted to give up, and then I stopped praying and I stopped like reading the Bible or anything. But yeah, of course, I had those times that I just felt like giving up.
Yeah. And those were the times that God was really piggybacking you and really carrying you and bringing you to where you are now. And look at where you are now. You were bullied and you really went through extreme difficulties. We can't even get into all the details today because we have a limited time, but yeah, you really went through a tough time, and it was times that you really wanted to give up, but you persevered. And how is your life now?
Now my life is really, really full of happiness, and after like listening to the word, I could really like find my purpose in life, and I could realize that my purpose is to fulfill the counterpart love with God. And after hearing that, I am just so full of joy and so full of God's love that I'm eternally happy. And I cannot imagine that there was a time in my life where I really didn't even smile or didn't even felt happy, but now I'm so happy. And so I found my self-worth, and I can know that God really loves me, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, that is so amazing. That is really, really amazing. Your life is really a testimony of this Sunday message. You persevered through tough times and now you're so blessed. It is really turned completely for you when you, even when there were times that you really felt like you wanted to give up, but you didn't. And now you're extremely blessed. So there might be someone listening to this segment today who's gone through similar things or might be going through something similar to what you've been through. Someone who've recently listened to the word but also still struggling to overcome similar things that you went through. Depression and bullying and not really knowing what reason to live for. If you look back at what you've been through and where you are now, is there something you would like to say to someone listening?
To never give up on God and to always hold on to God tightly, because I can look back in my life now and realize the times that I really wanted to give up was the times that God really carried me. So to always hold on to God and to always know that God is with you and you are never alone, but God will always carry you.
Yes, amen. And this is just once again a testimony that we really, really should never give up. Because Annika, there must have been a time that, just like you just told us, that you felt so dark that you didn't see a reason to live, that you actually really wanted to take your own life. And you were even at that point, but you didn't give up. And now look at your life overflowing with blessings. So for me, I'm so inspired just hearing your testimony. And for everyone listening, whatever we may be going through, we should never give up, but always persevere and know that the blessings will come if we don't give up. Any last words, Annika? Anything you'd want to add to that? Anything you would like to... What are you most thankful for?
I'm really thankful that God brought me to this history and that I could find my purpose in life, knowing that I can truly love God and be His counterpart.
Amen. And that you are truly, truly valuable and that no one should ever make you doubt that. Amen. Okay, wow. Thank you so much for coming, Annika. What a blessing to have you here today and to have heard your story. If anyone else has a really incredible story, you turn it into a poem and send it to me. Or if you have any thoughts about today and listening to this podcast today, you're more than welcome to share your thoughts to the email address in the description box. This brings us to the end of the day. Everyone, I hope you have an incredible day with the Lord. Thank you so much, Annika.
Thank you.
And Annika's gonna say goodbye for us. I'm Youngse, and this is Annika.
Goodbye.
And thank you so much, Youngse from South Africa, and Annika for just a wonderful interview and great testimony. I hope that many people were inspired and moved by it, especially when it has everything to do with this week's message. Thank you for your awesome contribution to the Morning Star Drive, and hope that you guys will really be able to, Youngse, continue to make more and more great content for this show. All right, guys, that means that is the end of today's episode. And of course, it's not just the end of the day, because tonight we have Sunseam giving the Wednesday message. Hope you guys will really enjoy that tonight too. And then we'll see you guys again tomorrow on the Morning Star Drive on 117.8.
It's the Morning Star Drive 117.8. You soaring up with sky, now's the time, don't delay. I'm sitting in my ride and it's time to fly. So let's realign, just listen and fill your mind.
I'm burning with desire and the passion. Nobody can stop me when I'm like this. I got my head in the zone, you know. I'm on the Morning Star Drive, you know. I'm burning with desire.